Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and well, today we have a new video which I'm going to give full credit to for all the images and footage used in this video from this YouTube channel, from a video that they did. I'll link the video in the description. 100% recommend to go watch it. But yeah, pretty much it's just showing the Jurassic World Rebirth stuff for the New York Toy Fair, and we have some new things that are kind of revealed. First thing, it's kind of not about the toy. This is about Chaos Theory. They say that there are 2 new seasons of Chaos Theory coming out, and they kind of phrase it in a weird way that kind of almost seems like they're saying 2 seasons are coming out before Rebirth and 2 seasons after Rebirth. But I think that this actually is saying that we're getting 2 seasons. One of them is going to be releasing before Rebirth, and one of them is going to be releasing after Rebirth.
We also have 2 seasons of Chaos Theory from Netflix before and after the movie.
Which is interesting, since we know we're getting Season 3 next month, which is before Rebirth. Which means this pretty much confirms that Season 4 is releasing, assuming that this information is correct. So yeah, I know that Season 3 was kind of confirmed through a book listing that is going to be the last season, but they kind of changed that. So I'm assuming Season 4 is, well, back up. So yeah, I'm honestly really excited to see this. I'm also excited for Season 3, which maybe I'll cover those images at the end of this video kind of randomly. But anyways, first we have the T Rex, which we've already seen this, and we also see the action feature pretty good. So pretty much, you press down the tongue and the red light glows in the back of the mouth, which I'm not a big fan of the red lights. I think they kind of worked well on the Indominus Rex, but on the T-Rex it makes no sense to be here. But yeah, pretty much you press that and it starts chomping, and then you can articulate it with the tail. And generally, looking at this T-Rex, okay, I have had some opinions change pretty much from each one of these videos, but I think my final opinion is finally here. This is the best T-Rex figure. I'm still not going to get it though, because I don't need another T-Rex. But otherwise, this is a great figure, and the only complaints I have is the paint not going out on the tail, and also not a big fan of the red light in the back of the mouth. Kind of just not a big fan of it. Also, and one thing I'm not 100% sure is if the mouth is permanently open when in a resting position, which, Mattel, we started off having it like this, then you fixed it, and then now I hope we're not going back to that for some of the Rebirth toys. And this T-Rex, I think it's just kind of like the All-Out Attack T-Rex. I mean, wait, is it the Ruthless Rampage or All-Out Attack? The new one that kind of came out for Chaos Theory, where it kind of depends on where the mechanics kind of stop. But yeah, generally, this is a great T-Rex toy. Another thing I forgot to mention, we have the scan code for this. The Jurassic Facts tab has not been updated, so you can't use the scan code. But they moved them back to the feet, and also they changed the scan code design. The scan code's design were kind of changed when Dominion came out, and kind of stayed the same for a while. But now the scan code, just the general style of them, not even talking about the placement, just general design of them, are more similar to the older ones that released prior to it. And I actually kind of like that. It's kind of giving me vibes, especially from Fallen Kingdom. So yeah, also again, forgot to mention, they're moving back to the feet. We kind of knew this for the Mosasaurus figure, but anyways, moving on to the Mosasaurus. I forgot, in my opinion, has definitely changed on this one. And before it was depends on the angle, but now I think generally, since I've seen it from a lot of angles, especially in this video, this Mosasaurus looks great. Again, I think it's just some angles that make it look really bad, but pretty much majority of the angles, this figure looks great. But anyways, the action features pretty much thrashes side to side. And then also, it can spit this little Dilophosaurus out. Which, another thing that I stated in the video, which again, go watch the full video, it stated that that these are kind of mimicking action features from the actual film, and that they try to mimic action features from the actual film. Which means, my theory of Mosasaurus hunting the Dilophosaurus in Rebirth is still 100% factually true. No issues with my weird theory, and it's definitely pretty much been confirmed. Okay, jokes aside, it hasn't, but anyways, Mosasaurus figure looks great. And now we have the Quetzalcoatlus figure. This figure for me was pretty much, on one hand, the sculpt doesn't look the best, mainly in the head. The body looked pretty decent. And am I really just going to buy this figure because it can stand? And now my answer has finally been answered. Yes, I am going to buy this figure just because it can stand. I mean, it's an Asdarkid figure that can go from a flying and standing position. I don't think I could resist. Still not a fan of the cloth wings, but honestly, pretty much the action feature works. There's a button on the back of the Quetzalcoatlus, and you press it, and it springs the wings out, putting it into a flying position. Well, putting the wings into a flying position. Then when you can press the other button to control a chomping action feature. You can also angle the head upwards, so it's kind of looking more into a flying position, which is really nice. And then you can just push the wings back in to put it back into a standing position and pop the head back down. This figure, when it comes to the movements, are great, and again, I might get this figure and just customize it to be the Dominion Quetzalcoatlus. I don't know how I'm going to, probably the only thing that I won't be able to get screen accurate is the wings, since the wings are orange on the Dominion one, while this one's blue, and I don't want to have to try the paint cloth or replace the cloth or anyway, so it's going to just stay blue. But anyways, I think that this would make a good custom for the Dominion if you really wanted to make it look more like the Dominion Quetzalcoatlus. But even for the Rebirth one, I guess looks solid enough. But the action feature is definitely the best, and I hope they release other Asgardians like Hatzegopterus and Titanosaurus Draken with action features like this. Or at the very least in the wild roar size range, just with action features, kind of that, or at least with the articulation and being able to stand like this. And I hope they just genuinely implement this on the other figures. Next we have Spinosaurus. I'm not going to talk about too much since I've already made my opinion pretty clear on this, and we've already seen a lot of this figure already. The action feature is great. You just press a button on the back of the tail and it can thrash side to side. And it's still definitely my favorite of the Rebirth figures that are coming out that we have images for. Though one thing I do have to say, I'm not a big fan of it being electronic. I just don't like animals that are either or at least being portrayed to be aquatic, which the Rebirth Spinosaurus is being portrayed to be very aquatic, yet it's an electronic figure and most likely should not be put in water, which is a big shame. I wish this guy you could just submerge this guy fully in water and have no issues. Though maybe it will, I have no idea, but yeah. Anyways, now we have Titanosaurus. My opinion has also completely changed on this figure, especially now that we can finally see the head. It went from okay, looks still not the biggest fan of it, but looks way better than the one in the film, and now it still does look better than the one in the film, but the face is still ugly. Why, oh why? Mattel is just teasing me at this point for a Leviathan figure, since I think the head actually would make a pretty nice Leviathan custom. In fact, I may do that after this video, make a custom Leviathan with the head of this thing. It is just ugly, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's not even the fault of the Mattel designers. I think they actually portrayed a interpretation of the Jurassic World Rebirth Titanosaurus perfectly, if not better than the one in the actual film. The issue is the one in the film is hideous, and it's just the whole entire concept of it is just a poor decision. So yeah, as a depiction as the Rebirth Titanosaurus, it's perfect, but the Rebirth Titanosaurus is just the most flawed thing I can think of, besides the mutant. So yeah. Anyways, now we also have the mask. Not going to talk about these too much, not too interested in the mask, but yeah, it has the animated eyes, has the roars. One thing I do want to mention is the T Rex roar actually sounds different from the Jurassic Park T Rex roar. It just sounds completely different, so.
More importantly, our featured T Rex. It's the first time we've ever had dynamic lighting in our eyes. It'll blink for us in passive mode. Here he comes, the gunk. We can increase the levels of aggression as we slowly open our mouth. And then when we want to do a full scare, we can dilate the eyes. It goes into a gradient red. And of course, all of it's activated simply by putting it over your chin. Roar.
Is the Rex getting a new roar, or is it just because of all this background sound in the video? I have no idea. Anyways, we have the Uno cards, which we finally get an actual close-up look of these cards. You can see the actual cards, and man, we can see the T Rex render we've already seen. Quetzalcoatlus first render, and I mean, looks okay enough though. I mean, we already know it basically just looks like the Rebirth Quetzal. Anyways, Mosasaurus, I still kind of confused how we have previous cards from previous batches of Uno cards, while at the same time having more new Rebirth ones. We have literally the Jurassic World Mosasaurus alongside the Rebirth Mosasaurus, and we also have the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Raptor Squad, or at least Baby Raptor Squad, Rebirth, Raptor, and man, we can finally see this render of Titanosaurus kind of, and man, is it absolutely hideous. Anyways, we have this Mosasaurus set, which they actually state that the boat can float in the water, which is pretty interesting. And then they also state that this Mosasaurus figure, well, I don't know if they stated the size in this, but I know they stated in another video, and I think it was about 13 inches, so this is definitely going to be the largest minifigure we ever gotten. And I think I would have preferred if they would have released this boat to be properly sized, alongside the Mosasaurus being properly sized, and just have the Mosasaurus pretty much be like a simplified version of the one that they're releasing. It's kind of like, it just has simple articulation. It can probably be made a little bit cheaper, just generally be larger size, and again, you wouldn't have to add all the action features in, so they could probably make it proportioned a bit better. So yeah, no action feature for biting, just having to have simple articulation, kind of like the older Mosasaurus figure. But yeah, anyways, next we have this vehicle set, which again kind of looks like the other Raptor one, but no, it is this one with the Alioramus. And yeah, pretty much it just grabs and captures the Alioramus figure. And it's actually pretty cool, and also again, it is kind of scaled with the other ones. And we did get one of these for Dominion with a Draco Rex in it. And yeah, anyways, pretty cool. Alioramus is definitely not going to be in the film. This is just a figure. I've seen people suggest it, but the Draco Rex was not in Dominion, and they got a figure last year, so I highly doubt that this guy is getting one. And also forgot to mention, you can kind of flip the toys back into the truck. So yeah. Anyways, those are all of the new Jurassic World Rebirth toys and all their action features. What are your guys' opinion on them? Or which one are you going to purchase? Which ones are you not going to purchase? And generally, like, how good do you think these figures are? For me, T Rex is great, not going to purchase it, but it's definitely the best T Rex we've gotten. Mosasaurus is great, probably I'm going to get it at some point. Spinosaurus is also great, and definitely going to get it probably right off the bat. And Titanosaurus is only bad because it's based off the Rebirth one. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, but as a Rebirth Titanosaurus, if you're a fan of the Jurassic World Rebirth Titanosaurus design, it is peak perfection. Anyways, what are your guys' opinions on these? Again, I know I already said this. And how good do you think the other figures are going to be? Personally, I think they're going to be great. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.